Why public transportation feels unsafe and how the addiction, neglect, and reality broke a system we used to believe in. Welcome to episode 7. This one's going to be real. It hits on something everybody feels, but nobody wants to say it out loud. Let's talk about public transportation, buses, trains, and light rail, and why so many people refuse to use those anymore. Let's talk about why people prefer their own private vehicles, even when gas prices are insane, even when parking sucks, even when traffic feels like it's a punishment from the universe. Because here's the truth. People don't avoid public transportation because they're privileged or lazy. They avoid public transportation because it's not safe, it's not clean, and it doesn't feel human anymore. And addiction, the same crisis we talked about in episodes 2 and 3, is a huge part of why. We have to stop pretending everything is fine. If you've ever ridden a light rail late at night, or honestly even at 2 p.m. on a random Tuesday, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You walk onto a train car and you immediately smell it. The stale chemical odor, the burnt foil smell, the unwashed clothes, somebody shooting up in the corner, someone passed out with needles in their backpack, or someone yelling at voices nobody else can hear. And you're standing there like, why am I paying to be part of a live episode of The Walking Dead? It's not judgment, it's reality. And pretending otherwise is part of why this keeps happening. People don't feel safe on public transportation because public transportation is not safe. It's not unfair to say it, it's not cruel to say it, it's not political to say it. It's honest, and honesty is how you fix things. Addiction is the invisible conductor running the system. Look, you can make as many posters as you want telling people not to smoke fentanyl on trains. You can make announcements, you can make rules. But if you don't enforce the rules, there are no rules. Addiction doesn't care about signs. Addiction doesn't respect public spaces. Addiction does not take hints. When people are using hard drugs openly and nobody steps in, they're not taking advantage of the system. They're drowning in addiction. And the rest of us are being pulled underwater with them. And that is why the public avoids buses and trains. Not because they're snobs, because they're human. Let's talk about the elevators. If you've ever used a light rail elevator, you know it's like entering a portal to the underworld. There's a reason people wait 10 minutes for the escalator instead of 30 seconds for the elevator. Because half the elevators smell like someone melted a porta potty and sprayed it with Febreze. People shouldn't be afraid to use an elevator. People shouldn't have to breathe through their shirt. And people shouldn't be stepping around puddles that definitely are not spilled water. This is a sign, not that people are gross, but that the system has failed both the addicted and the general public. The lack of enforcement has turned the whole thing into chaos. The biggest breakdown in the public transportation system is simple. Nobody enforces anything. Security is barely present. The light rail stations are constantly getting coppers stolen out of them. Transit officers are understaffed, overwhelmed, and told to de-escalate by walking away. And riders? They're left on their own. You can't run a functioning public system when the only rule is don't bother anyone. The lack of enforcement doesn't just hurt the public, it hurts the people struggling with addiction too. Because when there are no boundaries, there's no path to recovery. Boundaries are compassion, structure is safety, accountability is dignity. If we don't enforce the rules, we fail everybody. So how do we fix this without becoming cruel or political, you ask? Here's where the realistic solutions come in, because we're not just about complaining, we want to blueprint this. Number 1, we have to enforce the basics, respectfully, consistently, and everywhere. You don't need aggression, you need presence, you need rules, you need follow-through. If someone is using hard drugs on a train, they need to be removed and redirected into treatment pathways. Not ignored, not shamed, not criminalized, but helped, with boundaries. Number 2 is to create a real transit safety team, not security guards who stand there looking helpless, a trained unit with crisis intervention training, addiction response training, authority to enforce rules, and a safe collaboration with police when needed. As for number 3, that's the rapid response cleaning. When an elevator gets soiled, it gets closed and cleaned immediately, not days later. Stations need 24/7 cleaning staff, restroom level sanitation, strong disinfecting procedures, and real-time reporting. Number 4 consists of treatment pathways right at the stations. Imagine outreach workers assigned to high-traffic areas, trained recovery navigators, on-the-spot referrals, and safe transport to stabilization facilities. If someone is using in a station, pretending they're just another commuter, It's dangerous for everyone, including them. Number 5. Restore pride and community in public spaces. People take care of what feels cared for. If stations are clean, people respect them. If stations are dirty, people treat them like dumpsters. It's human psychology. 6. Make public transit feel like a shared space again. When people feel safe, they return. When they return, ridership rises. When ridership rises, the whole system improves. It snowballs, but the snowball can roll it in either direction. The bigger truth, people don't want to choose cars because they love driving. They love cars because the cars don't smell like fentanyl. Cars don't have people screaming in the corner. Cars don't have syringes on the floor. Cars don't have urine in the elevators. Cars don't feel like danger on wheels. Cars give them control and safety, and cars give them dignity. People aren't choosing cars. They're choosing self-preservation, and that's not something to shame. That's something to understand.